I have been wanting to watch this movie for a while and finally got the chance to watch it. And I must say, the movie was much better than I expected, and I had a lot of fun while watching it. We owe gratitude to director Luca Guadagnino for allowing us to witness one of the most interesting and intense love triangles we could ever see. And we see once again how right we are to look forward to everything he produces in this film. You might know Luca Guadagnino from films such as Call Me by Your Name and Suspiria. In this film, he is accompanied by Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, and Mike Faist, some of the most talented and popular actors of the recent period. Fortunately, we are not disappointed when we watch The Challengers, which spent its promotional period with interesting trailers. Using tennis as a background theme, Guadagnino focuses on all the emotions that make a person human, jumping from one to another with his distinctive style. The flawless performances of the actors throughout the film deeply impressed me. The background music and tempo of the film grip you so tightly that you can find yourself sweating even during a simple glance or argument scene. Especially Zendaya's performance left a strong impact on me. She is, after all, one of the most talented and versatile actors of recent times, with an incredible charisma. The film begins with a tennis match. On one side of the court, we see Faist as Art Donaldson, and on the other side, O'Connor as Patrick Zweig. And sitting in the spectator's seat at the center is the enchanting Zendaya as Tashi. One thing is clear from this opening scene's sharpness. Both players' attention is not on the match, but on Tashi, contrary to their positions. We watch their match and delve into their pasts through flashbacks. Their pasts, intertwined with various moments that highlight the director's storytelling skills, intersperse with the technical skills they display in the match they play in the present. As we delve into the past of this trio, we can't help but feel like we're tumbling downhill, but it's not a bad feeling. As we are taken back 13 years in time, we start to learn the inside story of the relationships. Tashi is an athlete who dominates the court like a little Serena Williams and has started to take the brands and the tennis community under her control with both her talents and aura. Donaldson, observing events from a step behind, is a slightly sly, passive character seeking an environment where he can gain an advantage, confident that he won't struggle to reach the limits of his talent and potential. Zweig, on the other hand, is no less promising than Donaldson in terms of talent, living his passion in different frequencies, but with his reckless behavior, it's uncertain where his career will lead him. The closeness of these two boys is somewhat shattered when Tashi enters the picture. In fact, even when they try to picking up the same girl, everything still flows quite naturally, but when they step on the other side of the line, it is too late, and the story slowly evolves into a power struggle. Tennis is one of those individual sports where mental strength plays a crucial role. In an environment where athletes have spent years making extra efforts not to appear fragile, the idea of telling the story not from the details of tennis, but from the point of view of how the athlete directs his passions is quite appealing. Everything encountered in the pool of passion becomes a part of that passion. Guadagnino puts us in that pool with these three characters. The reason for everything we touch in the intensity of competition and ambition is passion. The reasons and the results are all created by the pits and mountains created within oneself. The director makes the audience fall into those pits and climb those mountains. He puts the reason for all of them on a single basis, perhaps the most intoxicating foundation that humanity has been granted since its existence. The foundation that prevents one from seeing ahead makes him blind. All characters surrender to the cyclical nature of their situation. They are neither stupid nor naive. They submit to this desire and its costs from the very first scene. Therefore, Challengers is neither a story of betrayal nor baseless greed. From the beginning, it places the audience in full consciousness of its characters, leading them into predicaments despite this awareness. In this story where desires and ambitions are intertwined, none of the characters are reliable. Tashi's psychology after his injury, Donaldson's opportunity to take advantage of this, Zweig, who should not look for logic in any step he takes. The movie doesn't suffer from any serious rhythm problems throughout. It keeps the audience alert and ready to rise at any moment, delivering what is desired. One of the film's greatest successes is its soundtrack, reminiscent of the soundtracks in Gaspar Noé films. Throughout the film, we listen to electronic music, even almost trance music pieces. And sometimes we start to hear them in the middle of very dramatic or emotionally intense scenes, changing the balance of the entire scene. This reflects the director's perspective because he seems to want to underline the sense of humor evident in the screenplay. The positions the characters find themselves in come from their instinctual sides, and unless you watch the ending with this consciousness and expectation, Challengers doesn't offer an open finale where answers can be found. Apparently, Zendaya's mother is among those who didn't quite like the ending. During an interview with the cast and director, Zendaya said her mother found the ending incredibly frustrating after watching the movie on the day of the premiere. In the final scene, we see the end of this big match we've been watching since the first scene. We finally see the two male characters running and hugging each other over the net. Zendaya's character then shouts, "Come on!" just like she did in a very important match that ended in her victory. So, she's actually shouting with a sense of victory, almost angry, but a second later, her face softens a bit, and it ends like that. Zendaya's mother was a little annoyed because she thought the film ended in a way that suggested the two male characters no longer needed Tashi, and that the movie ended this way. Actually, this is one of the most logical interpretations that could be made, to think that she is no longer needed. But the entire film revolves around Tashi managing these two men and trying to reveal the tension between them. So, if there's something more satisfying for Tashi than her intimacy with these two men, it's the finally revealing of the sexual tension between these two men. Therefore, their union in the end is the greatest victory for her, and she jumps up with joy. Although, I think a slightly longer ending would be much better, I still think this ending to a love triangle story like this is brilliant. If you haven't watched the film yet, I definitely recommend it. For me, it was one of the most enjoyable films of the year, without a doubt. See you in another video.